Hello guys, this is Ark, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the Worlds 2023, and more specifically I'm going to be talking about the format, when it begins, and all the information you're probably going to need if you want to watch it. Um, so first of all, Worlds 2023 will start on October 9th, on Monday. So this is GMT plus 2 time zone. For Korea, where the event will be taking place, I think this will be roughly 1 p.m. or maybe 2 p.m. I think. Um, of course, if you're in like America, it's probably like early or like late night, like 2 a.m., 1 a.m. or something like that. So I think overall, um, maybe America might have a hard time watching the event because it will be going through their whole night time. But for the rest of the world, specifically like Europe and Asia, I think it's basically like the perfect time for the event to take place. I mean, Europe might be early in the morning a bit, but it's definitely manageable, right? So yeah, the event will start on October 9th, with a single best of five between Europe's fourth seed and North America's fourth seed. That's BDS versus Golden Guardians. Um, this match, the winner of this match actually will move on, will qualify to the actual World Championship in the play-in stage. In that play-in stage, there are seven other teams waiting, so a total of eight, which have been drawn in best of three matches against each other. So first of all, we have Loud versus GAM, R7 versus PSG. Is that what is this team? Team Wales against the winner of GG versus BDS and DFN versus CFO. So all of these matches will be best of three. The winners of those matches will play um, between themselves. So let's say Loud advances here and R7 advances here, right? So those two teams will play each other, and the winner of that match will be bracket A's first seed. So that will be A1 as said here. Now, the two initial losers, so in this case was Gigabyte Marines and PSG Talon, will play in the losers bracket, where the loser will completely drop off um, the World Championship, whereas the winner will, let's say it's Gigabyte Marines, will advance here, or they will play with the loser from Loud versus R7. And the winner of this match will be seed number 2 from bracket A. So that's A2. So we have A1, which we suppose it was Loud, and it's A2, let's say it was R7. And it's the exact same process in bracket B. So in that case, let's assume that it's Team Wales and DFM that will be B1 and B2. All those games so far are best of threes. And now, on the next stage, after we have decided who is A1, B1, A2, and B2, we will have two best of five matches between A1 versus B2 and B1 versus A2. And the winner of those best of fives, the two winners, will advance to the main stage of the World Championship, where 14 other teams await for a 16 team total. Now, those games will begin the next day after GG versus BDS on a Tuesday at at GMT plus 2 is 10 a.m. Um, so we will be having matches on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then more on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So all the way from Monday to Sunday, we will be having the entirety of the playing stage. basically. So the first week of the Worlds 2023 will be the entirety of the playing stage. Of course, the two best of five qualifiers, the finishing matches of the playing stage will be played on the same day, on the Sunday, and every other best of three match will be played on every other day. For On Sunday, for the best of five matches, those will begin 4 hours earlier than the actual time, uh, which was 10 a.m. In GMT plus 2. So those will begin at 6 a.m. So all the times are here. You can easily just convert them in your time zone and get the exact times that they will begin. Um, so let's assume from this whole bracket playing stage that you know Loud and PSG, for example, they advance to the main stage. So in the main stage, the main event, we will be having 16 teams. 14, as I said, 14 teams are already here, plus two from the playing stage. Um, so now this format for the main stage is a Swiss type format. And what does that mean? Because a lot of people are kind of confused by this. So basically, we begin with 16 teams, right? It's those last ones we said it's supposed to be like Loud and PSG, for example. So what's going to happen is on the first day, we're going to be having 8 pairings here. Let's say it's 1 versus 16, second versus 15, whatever. There will be those pairings, okay? And all those pairings will be best of 1. So on the first day, most likely, from what I see here, yes, um, we will have 8 best of 1 matches where every team um, will play a game. Those matches will happen on Thursday the 19th, and it will start at 8 a.m. on GMT plus 2. And now, let's say um, teams 1 through 8, let's say the pairing is 1 to 16, 2 to with 15, 3 with 14, etc., right? And after, actually, let's do it this way. Let's have a drawing, okay? So first of all, we will be having the first bracket here where it's 1 versus 16, 2 versus 15, 3 versus and 14, all the way to, let's say, 7 versus 8. So in this stage, in this first day, in this first step of the Swiss stage, every team has a record of 0 and 0. Now, let's suppose that all the left teams here, so teams 1 through 7, oh, this would be 8 and 9th actually. This would be 8th and 9th. So let's suppose that teams 1 through 8 won their matches, right? All these left side teams won. Okay. So now the group, this group splits into two, where we will have all the teams that won their matches. So teams with a record of 1 and 0 here, and here will be all the teams with the 0 and 1 record. Okay, so in this group here, there will be the teams of 1 through 8, and in this group here, there will be the teams of 9 through 16, and they will also play again against each other in best of one pairings. So let's say here it will be 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 4, and 3 versus 6. and 4 versus 5. Okay, and here it will be a similar situation. Let's say it's 9 versus 16, 10 versus 15, and 11 versus 14, and 12 versus 13. Okay, so let's suppose again that all the left side teams win here. Okay, the groups split once again. So here we will be having more groups where in the top one we will be having teams that are 2 and 0. Here we'll have teams that are 0 and 2, and here will be teams that are 1 and 1. So here will be those teams will go here where they will play against themselves again. So let's say it's 1 versus 4 and 2 versus 3. Okay, here will be the loser, so it will be these teams here. So let's say it's 13 versus 16 and 14 versus 15 here. And here will be the losers of this who will have a record of 1 and 1, and the winners of this who will also have the same record. So it will be the teams from 5 to 12. Let's say it's 5 with 12, and all the way to 8 versus 9th, which could potentially happen again. Um, I think 5 and 12 happens here as well. So we could see rematches here already. Um, so now what happens? All those matches so far here and here, all of these are best of ones. Okay, this bracket here will also be best of one, but these ones will be best of threes. Why? Because in order for a team to qualify from the Swiss stage, they need to reach 3 wins. Okay, and in order for a team to be completely eliminated, they need to reach 3 losses, with whichever happens first. Eventually, every team will either have 3 wins or 3 losses, and whichever happens first, they will either advance or be knocked out. Okay. Now, in the game that is a potential game that will either reach 3 wins or 3 losses, that game will be a best of 3. So the 1 versus 4 here and the 2 versus 3 here, those matches will be best of 3 because this match is a decider of if the winners of both of these games will advance to the knockout stage. They will get 3 wins and they will advance. So let's say, so this is best of threes here. So let's say here it's the first seed, and let's say those 2 teams win, right? So team 1 and team 2 advance already. Okay, and of course teams 3 and 4 lose and now have a 2 and 1 record. It's the exact same here, but instead of advancing, teams will be eliminated. Let's say 13 and 14 win, and those 2 teams lose. So those 2 teams will be completely eliminated. So and again, because they somebody will be eliminated here, those matches are also best of 3. And we have 15 and 16 being eliminated if they will lose this match, right? Now, what's going to happen is we will continue the same process because in the middle bracket, there's no advancement or elimination. It's just a team will go to 2 victories or will go to 2 defeats. So there's no loss or advancement yet. So these are all best of ones here. Best of one. And now what's going to happen is if we assume that teams 5, 6, 7, and 8 win, they will have a record of 2 and 1, which means that these teams here will match up with these teams here who will also have a record of 2 and 1, and they will play in another bracket of 6 teams, and these teams here, this is an 0 and 2 record, so the winners will go to 1 and 2 with the losers of this bracket here. So we will have 9 through 14. Okay, so here what's going to happen is, um, so we say we have 3 through 8 here. So let's say it's 3 versus 8, 4 versus 7, and 5 versus 6, right? 3 8, 4 7, and 5 versus 6. The record here is of for the teams is 2 and 1, which means again, because the winners will get 3 wins and advance, this is also best of 3. Okay, and at the same time, the teams 9 through 14 are matched here for the record of 1 and 2. So we have 9 and 14 here, 10 versus 13, and 11 versus 12. Now, these matches are also best of threes because they are elimination matches. The losers will get eliminated. So let's say the losers are the right-hand side. So 12, 13, and 14 are also eliminated, right? And let's say that the right-hand side teams, the left-hand side teams here are winners. So they get 3 victories and they advance. So 3, 4, and 5 also advance. And that means we are left with these teams here. Oh, actually, not these teams, but these teams and these teams. The winners of this, who have a record of 2 and 2, and the losers of those who also have a record of 2 and 2, in a final best of 5 bracket, um, where it's teams from 6 to 11. So let's say it's 6 versus 11, 7 versus 10, and 8 versus 9. And again, these are also the record of 2 and 2, and these are also best of 3, where the winners, let's say it's the left-hand side, advance. So it's 6, 7, and 8. Oh, what happened? Yeah, okay. It's 6, 7, and 8. And the losers are those teams where they will be eliminated. So it's 11, 10, and 9. So with this bracket, this is a Swiss stage. So it's basically teams with the same record play against each other in best of ones until it's either an elimination matchup or an advancement matchup, which will be a best of 3. Um, so this is basically how it will go. Okay, we will have 8 teams that will advance and 8 teams that will be eliminated. Now those games they will take place. Where is it? Okay, yeah. So those games will take place on Thursday the 19th, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and Monday, and Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. It begins on October 19th and will go all the way to October 29th. So it will be like an 11-day, um, like best of one, the best of one, best of 3 uh, play day where we will decide who will advance, the 8 teams that will advance to the knockout stage. After Sunday, the October of 29th of October, uh, concludes, the teams will get a break for 4 days, where in that case quarterfinals will begin, and the draw for the quarterfinals will be, I think, will be completely random. There will be no, I don't think there will be some sort of, oh, teams from the same region cannot match against each other. I think every team can match up against every other team, which I think it's the best format. That's very nice. And of course, on every day through from the 2nd through the 5th of November, we will be having a best of five. Each pairing will play on each day. Um, so we will have four winners who will advance to the semifinals. Um, so the quarterfinals will run from Thursday to Sunday. Then the semifinals will be on the next Saturday and Sunday. And of course, the grand finals will be on Sunday, November 19th. So I think there's plenty of time for teams to prepare for the knockout stage. There's plenty of time for the quarterfinals and semifinals and finals. I think this is all great. And overall, I think this entire Swiss stage bracket is very nice, because a lot of the times, like the four groups of four teams, oftentimes felt like a done deal. Like, the first week goes by and there is like the bottom tier team, like the fourth place team is like 0 and 3 already, and you're like, okay, this team is never going to win now. They're never going to advance. So, unless very, very, very unlikely scenario, right? But now, you can have teams advance that are like 0 and 2, because they will play against other teams that are 0 and 2, right? And they have a chance. Like, let's say the 0 and 2 teams match against each other. They will probably be like the lower tier teams, but they will play against each other. So one of them will have to win and go to 1 and 2, where they might face like a loser from, let's say, the 1 and 1, right? Who are technically like stronger teams than them, but they still have a chance, right? They always have a chance um, to advance, because at the end of the day, you technically play against other teams that are of your same win-loss record, which generally means that you're playing against teams that should be kind of equal in power. Of course, this is not always the case, because some defeats might come for like a strong team against another strong team. Then, a strong team has like a no and one record, and then has to play against like weaker teams, etc. Like, there are so many variables in this, but it makes it so much more chaotic, and no team is eliminated until they play their last game, right? This is the important thing. Now, every game is important, because, again, there are oftentimes games in group stage where it feels like, okay, why should I even watch this game? It doesn't matter, you know? Like, there's like the first place team against like the fourth place team, and no matter if you win or lose, it doesn't matter for the standings, right? So now there will be none of that. Now, every game, because you have to reach 3 wins or avoid 3 defeats, every game matters. Every win or every loss matters, and because of that, every game matters, and that's important. And I think that's great. I think that's a great format, and I cannot wait for the World Championship to begin. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll catch you next time, probably with a video on who I think will win Worlds and why.